a time when pirates roamed the Caribbean, capturing ships, stealing treasure, and spreading terror wherever they went. And the most feared pirate of them all was Blackbeard. Blackbeard was the most notorious pirate in history. My research tells me he hurt a lot of innocent people.
Christina, now that be false. Blackbeard never hurt anyone, only in self-defense.
Horatio Sinbad is the master of this ship, the Mika II, and he's famous up and down the North Carolina coast for playing the part of a pirate. Blackbeard was someone to be afraid of, wasn't he?
Oh, yes. He was a big man with a beard and a hat, and he carried many guns. And he would take linstock, smoking linstock, and stick them under his hat here. And it would burn and smell. He looked like the devil personified.
History books say that Blackbeard's flagship, the Queen Anne's Revenge, sank somewhere in these waters in 1718. I'm on my way to a shipwreck off the North Carolina coast. It could be the wreck of Blackbeard's ship. A company called Intersol put together the team that discovered the wreck, and Mike Daniel was the team leader. When the divers got to the site, what did they find?
When they first went down, they found a pile of cannons, and there were 3 cannons laying loose, and some of the first artifacts that came up was a bell, and that bell had a date on it, 1709.
But is the wreck really Blackbeard's ship? There's a lot more still down there that can tell us. With his 40-gun ship, Blackbeard sailed the shallow waters off the North Carolina coast in the 1700s. He robbed other ships, which means Blackbeard's pirate ship probably sank with a lot of valuables on board. And I'm leading another dive to the site. What new clues might we uncover? Gold. Could this be pirate gold?
It could be indeed.
This is the first time Mystery Hunters has ever investigated a haunted castle. This is Dudley Castle in England, and it just may be the most haunted castle of them all. What is a ghost? It's supposed to be the spirit of a dead person, right? And where would you find a dead person? In a coffin. According to tradition, this stone coffin was made for John de Sumner, the bad baron of Dudley Castle. He died in 1321. A cleaner was working here a few years ago. She reported seeing a pair of legs, just the legs, no body, walking near the coffin. No one knows why the coffin is cracked like this, but the split is level with his thighs. So maybe his ghostly legs have been wandering the castle for hundreds of years because they're looking for the rest of him. There's supposed to be a mysterious monk who wanders the castle too. And the most famous ghost of all is called the Gray Lady. There have been many sightings of the Gray Lady, but I'll believe in her when I see her for myself.
Araya, I've been looking for you all over the castle, and now I have found you. Hi, Araya.
Oh, hi, Lindsay. This is Lindsay Elwell. She plays the part of the Gray Lady on ghost tours at Dudley Castle. Who is the Gray Lady, Lindsay?
Well, some people say she's a woman called Dorothy Beaumont, and she used to live in the castle in the 17th century.
Why is she supposed to be haunting the castle?
Well, some people believe that she wants to be reunited with her infant daughter, Frances.
This is where baby Frances Beaumont was buried. Her mother, Dorothy Beaumont, the Gray Lady, is supposed to be buried somewhere else. The story goes that Dorothy died a year after Frances died, and she has wanted to be reunited with her daughter ever since. Lindsay says she's seen the Gray Lady ghost. So what happened?
Well, this is the part where the tour group waits, and I was just waiting to do my part without anybody seeing me, and Suddenly, just something came past me, so I just turned around and had a look. It was a figure just on the opposite wall, looked exactly like me but without a face, and it was a grey lady.
Many people say they've seen her ghost.
Some of the stories have been so similar and some of the descriptions have been so similar, it makes you think, you know, there's got to be something here at Dudley Castle that defies all explanation.
There may be something huge hiding at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. And it's not a pirate ship. You got mail. 10-year-old Laurent Oberholzer from Geneva, Switzerland wants the inside scoop. Take a look on the Mystery Illustrator. Dear Doubting Dave, I was playing on the beach the other day, and a weird old bottle washed up on shore. I know it could have fallen out of a boat. Or maybe someone threw it in the ocean a long time ago. But then I thought, what if it's even older than that? I've heard of the lost city of Atlantis, which may be somewhere down on the ocean floor. Has anyone ever found anything from the city? Or is it all just a myth? Well, Laurent, 2,000 years ago, an ancient Greek philosopher named Plato wrote that Atlantis was a kind of paradise ruled by Atlas the Titan, a seriously powerful demigod. The island was rich and advanced in knowledge, but over time, the people of Atlantis became lazy and their leaders arrogant. So the gods punished them by destroying the city and flooding the island. Sounds a lot like a fairy tale, doesn't it? Except many people believe Atlantis actually existed. It's possible that when Plato wrote about the gods destroying Atlantis, he was actually describing what we know today to be a natural disaster, like a flood or a hurricane or an earthquake. So maybe there actually was a city that sunk into the ocean around Plato's time, even if it wasn't destroyed by the gods. But where? People have looked in Egypt, Antarctica, South America, the Greek island of Thera, and all sorts of other crazy places. And yes, Laurent, divers have actually found really old artifacts on the ocean floor, but they've been unable to prove any of them came from a sunken city called Atlantis. Still, people love the idea of a lost city with all its secrets and treasures, so we'll probably keep looking for a long time to come. That's for me. Oops. Sorry.
Two trucks full of junk, 2 teams of kids, and 6 hours. What on earth can you do with that lot?
Our teams have to build a water bike.
Spring-loaded catapult.
A cannon.
What?
Oh no.
It's going to be quite a challenge. But I think they're up for it.
3, 2, 1, go! Woo!
The Amazing World of Operation Junkyard, Tuesdays at 4:40 on Discovery Kids.
Will these things even work?
Could a ship found sunken in these waters have belonged to the most feared pirate of the seas? Blackbeard raided a lot of boats, which means his ship carried stolen treasure. When a team of divers discovered the wreck, they were hoping they would uncover something that would identify the ship. What they really wanted to find was a sort of clue people call a smoking gun. Proof that the wreck was that of Blackbeard's flagship, the Queen Anne's Revenge. But the sea wasn't about to give up its secrets that easily. One problem was concretions. This stuff. Concretions are a kind of sandy crust that forms naturally underwater. And if you want to see what's underneath, you have to clean it off. What can this cannon tell us?
There's a date on the end of this piece. It's a 7 and a 1 and a 3, which means 1713. That's a very good date because it predates the wreckage of the ship, which was 1718. And this is one of the best clues we have that this actually was the Queen Anne's Revenge.
But they didn't just have cannons on board. They also found gold powder at the shipwreck. Dr. James Craig is a geologist, and he knows how to find gold.
What we're going to look for is the gold here mixed with the black sand at the very bottom. You want to give it a try?
Sure.
And what you can see is that we're starting to find lead shot. And what else do you see?
Gold. Could this be pirate gold?
It could be indeed. We know that the pirate ship carried gold. When the ship sank, some of the gold would have been there. Was there a lot of treasure? We don't know. We haven't found that yet.
Mark Wild Ramsing is director of the Queen Anne's Revenge Shipwreck Project.
The gold that you saw was what they were using for money.
Do you think the wreck is Blackbeard's ship?
Well, all the artifacts certainly point that way. We've not found that one object, that smoking gun, but the barrel certainly is warm.
The divers who discovered the wreck have brought up many cool objects from the seabed, but they still haven't found Blackbeard's loot. I've heard there are a lot more things still buried in the sand. Could those include the gold, silver, and jewels Blackbeard stole from his victims? If the wreck really is Blackbeard's ship, then maybe Blackbeard's treasure chest is down there too.
At Dudley Castle in England, many people believe that the Grey Lady ghost wanders around looking for her baby daughter. Even the actor who plays the Grey Lady on ghost tours of the castle says she's seen the ghost.
So you're a believer?
Yeah, I can't explain what I saw.
Hello, Araya.
Oh, Adrian, hi. Adrian Durkin is the keeper of Dudley Castle. Have you ever seen the ghost of the Grey Lady, Adrian?
No, I've never seen the ghost, but I have been part of a ghost sighting.
So what happened?
Well, I led the tour to the usual place, and I began telling them the story. And halfway through the story, I became aware that they'd seen something. Well, that was fine, because they were supposed to. I knew we had an actor who was going to come in and put in an appearance as the Grey Lady. When the whole tour had been finished, they sent a letter to us saying how much they'd enjoyed it, but they did say one thing that surprised us a little. They said, when the guide told the story of the Grey Lady and the actress appeared at the top playing the part, what was the significance of the figure standing behind her that the guide hadn't mentioned?
So there were two people there, even though there was only supposed to be one.
That's right, and somebody we knew nothing about. There wasn't anybody else up there. And of course, I had my back to the whole thing, so the nearest I've ever come to a genuine ghost sighting, and I was looking in the wrong direction.
Have you ever seen anything strange at Dudley Castle?
I've heard and sensed a few strange things up here.
Do you feel safe working here?
Sometimes it's a bit creepy, but it doesn't really scare me all that much now.
People that I work with have seen quite a lot of strange things going on.
Like what?
She had a dog, so people have seen the dog roaming around the castle.
And something else unusual that's happened up here, perhaps I can just show you this, which is a photograph which was taken on the grounds of the castle. When they took the photograph, they actually thought they were just looking at one of the structures, but when it came back from being developed, as you can see, this strange smoky image had formed on the picture. And if you look at it even more closely, you can see the form of a head with a mouth and eyes and strange claw-like hands at the front, grasping at the air.
Have you ever sent this picture out to be analysed?
Yes, indeed we have. All we've been able to establish is that it's not a fake. No image was put on there afterwards. The laboratory suggested that perhaps it was smoke, but in fact, of course, they'd never have taken the picture if they'd actually seen the smoke when they were taking it. So it's completely unexplained.
there's something else that makes Dudley Castle special. The castle has a zoo. Have you ever seen the zoo animals acting strangely because of some sort of sixth sense?
Most keepers who walk on site on the night have. They've felt presence and they've heard eerie things on the site as well.
So is that why you bring the dogs onto the grounds with you, just so you can, like, feel safer?
Yeah, very safe then. Because then I'll know that if there is anything around, then the dogs will sense it. Then I'll know that there is a presence around.
Zoo animals may actually explain some ghost reports. There was a case in 1977 where a witness said he saw a ghostly woman dressed in a colorful gown. It wasn't really just a large peacock. And people have reported hearing the clash of steel, like swords and armor. But that could just be normal zoo sounds. Do we have any other explanation for the ghost sightings and strange happenings at Dudley Castle?
I think I can help you there, Araya. We're now coming into the castle kitchen, and quite a number of people have reported seeing ghosts in this very room.
Do you think we will?
Well, I think I can pretty well guarantee it.
All right.
But we have to be standing in exactly the right position. What can you see?
It looks like a person. But it's not really a ghost, is it?
Oh, well, you'll have to wait till daylight to find out. So, by daylight, it looks completely different.
Yeah, if I just take a step to the right, I can really see that it's just part of the wall. Well, that explains one ghost at Dudley Castle, but the rest, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to file this under unexplained.
Wouldn't it be great if you could walk through walls like a ghost? No, because that'd mean you'd also fall through the floor. But it would be cool to make it look like things are going through you. So I'm gonna show you an amazing magic trick that is downright ghostly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Thumb Through Ear.
The secret? Pretend to start scratching your ear, but actually grab the top part of it like this, pushing it all the way into the crotch of your thumb. Now, roll your hand down, wrapping the top part of your ear around your thumb like a hot dog. Then, with your first finger, grab your earlobe and gently pull it into your fist. Wince like you're in pain. Try it in the mirror and you'll see how good it looks. That's how easy it is for your eyes to be fooled. And not just by magicians. Tricks of light and perspective happen all the time. They make rocks look like ghosts. Toys look like lake monsters.
And chins look like noses. Don't believe everything you see. Ow!
Blackbeard's flagship sank in these waters. Divers have discovered a wreck near here. Is it Blackbeard's ship? And if so, is it possible Blackbeard's treasure is down there too? The wreck is in water that's only about twice as deep as a swimming pool, but the conditions are so dangerous, I can't get certified to dive here myself. So what's it like down there?
Well, Christina, this is in an inlet. It's very dangerous. I became entangled one time and my weight belt fell off and I bolted to the surface, and that could have been a very dangerous situation.
I'm sending Dive Safety Officer Julep Bryan down to the wreck to search for proof that it's Blackbeard's ship. Good luck. I'm kinda hoping Julep's gonna find Blackbeard's treasure chest. As the divers descend to the ocean bottom, through the murk, we start to make out the wreck of the Queen Anne's Revenge. Can you tell me what you're seeing right now?
Right now, looking at a cannon. It's a large cannon.
This is cool.
Here we are at the base of a large, huge anchor. You sit down in the sand like this, and the sloop is sticking up.
Julep, do you see any bones or jewelry, a treasure chest?
I don't see any gold or jewelry right here yet. But I'm still looking. There's a fish. Call it a toadfish. It's a fish with an attitude. Christina, I'm unable to find the kind of treasure that you hoped I would find. But, there's still much treasure to be unfolded here. So we'll be headed back.
Maybe we didn't find Blackbeard's treasure chest today, but they found a ton of other stuff from the ship. And Mike Daniel and the state of North Carolina are working to preserve them. The objects are kept here. Dave Moore is an underwater archaeologist.
The material, the artifacts you see in here in these various exhibits came from just that one shipwreck, the one we think belonged to Blackbeard at one time.
But do any of these things definitely identify the wreck as Blackbeard's ship?
Collectively, it all really adds up to tell us, or very strongly suggest, that what we're dealing with is the Queen Anne's Revenge. And that's what really excites us.
So if that really is Blackbeard's ship down there, where's all the loot that he stole?
Well, most of the historical information tells us that Blackbeard ran the Queen Anne's Revenge aground on purpose. This was in order to break up the ship's company and probably keep a lot more of the loot for himself.
So he probably took his treasure chest with him?
Aye, that he did. That he did.
What happened after he got away?
As soon as Blackbeard left here on one of the smaller sloops, he made his way up to Ocracoke, which is about 60 miles north of here, up the North Carolina coast. And then sometime in late November, a contingent of Royal Marines came down, caught Blackbeard at Ocracoke. He ended up being beheaded, and the head was taken back up to Virginia as proof that he had been defeated.
Blackbeard may be dead, but his legend lives on. And they never did find his treasure chest, which means it still must be out there somewhere.
So what do you reckon? Will they ever find Blackbeard's treasure?
Well, my guess is yes. He couldn't have hidden it very far from where I was.
Well, maybe we should quit our jobs as mystery hunters and become treasure hunters.
Thanks for watching.